welcome to video 9. In this video, you're going to see us mud and spackle. This wasn't my favorite part of the whole renovation process. It was very tedious. We had to do multiple layers. And you're actually going to see what I was talking about in the last video, where I stated that because of a lot of our imperfections, we took a lot of time trying to smooth that out. When we actually do the living room and the kitchen, we're definitely going to take our time. Even though we've spackled and mud before, because this was our home, we wanted to make sure we did it right. However, because of time restraints, us moving into the trailer, because we had to actually move out of the new home very soon, I wanted to get this bedroom done as soon as we can, or in the time frame that we had. So yeah, for the living room and the kitchen, we're definitely going to take our time with this. And now that we know what to do, and what works and what doesn't, it will make the process a lot easier for us with those rooms. As you can see here, what I'm doing actually is filling in the parts that we nailed. So when you are actually nailing the boards in, you want to make sure that the nails are in a little deep. That way, when you're mudding or spackling, it covers the whole space of the nail and that hole that you made, and it makes a more smooth transition, because you don't want your nail to stick out. If your nail sticks out, that's an issue, because then you're not going to be able to sand. So definitely, if you're going to do that, you got to make sure that your nail is in deep, and it creates like a little crevice, and that's what you want. In this frame, you're actually seeing us mudding the frame of the door, the closet door. This closet was actually a lot more difficult than we had expected, and that was really based on space. It was really hard to mud in there with the small tight space that we had. As you could see, we had to do the corners, we had to do the ceiling, and then there was multiple boards as well. There wasn't just like one smooth board, and that's what I regret doing, was we had to put like multiple small boards together. And you'll see that, and you could see that right there, how we had to put multiple boards. So we did multiple taping and multiple mudding, and I really hated that we did that. But yeah, that's mudding. And with mudding and spackling, you're going to have to do multiple layers. And the reason why you're doing multiple layers, and I would say 3 layers, is because when you start sanding, you have to make sure that it's smooth before you paint. You definitely don't want to paint when, as you can see like there, when you start to smooth that out, you can't. That's why you want multiple layers. This is actually the next day, so this is the first layer. The ones with the screws, with the crevice of the screws, those came out great. I really thought the first layer was just great for the nails, but I did do a second layer with those. Now for the frame of the door and the seams, we actually had to do 3 layers. So before we did the second layer, and I'll show you in a second, I actually took the spackle knife and went all around the room to kind of just scrape and smooth a little bit of any little pieces of mud or that was sticking out, that wasn't smoothed out while we were mudding. Yeah, this was not my favorite thing to do for the renovation, but you know, I actually think it turned out really great. But it was definitely a pain to try to perfect what we didn't do right. This is what we used to do the mudding. In case you didn't know what to get, I do recommend this product. You just have to add a little bit of water and then kind of mix it up together. And it was really easy to use. It was really light. It wasn't like heavy. I don't recommend the heavy because it dries pretty quick. And then you're going to have a lot of sanding to do. So I recommend you picking up the product that we did where it was a lighter mud. So this is the first layer, like I said, and it does not look great. But once you guys see the second and the third layer together, it will actually make a lot more sense. So the first layer is always going to be, you know, not so perfect, but at least the first layer of what you need to do. And right here, this is the spackle knife that I was talking about. How I kind of went around the room with it and just kind of smooth everything out. Just to make sure there was nothing like hanging or any pieces that kind of dried up that weren't smooth. Smoothing out with the spackle blade is so important, especially after every layer. I do recommend doing that. You don't want any extra bumps that you gotta sand out, and you don't want any like little flyaways, especially when you start painting too. When we started painting, we actually did see a lot of the imperfections that we could have avoided. So definitely next time I want to take our time doing it. But yeah, this is the first layer, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.